welcome your next night, Mr. Arthur Johnson.
Hey, I used to coach a swimming team until the time we entered a competition. I remember the day well. It was autumn. We were at the outdoor pool. The air was crisp, cheese and onion. I was giving the team talk. I said, swim, guys. Swim like you've never swam before. A lot of them drowned that day. Then I was unemployed for a while. I wrote films. I wrote a film called. Actually, no, that's a punchline. That will come last. I wrote a film shown through the eyes of a short-sighted guide dog. A guide dog whose eyesight gets worse throughout the film. By the end of the film, he can barely see a thing. The guide dog works for two men, both coincidentally called Miles. That's called I Can See for Miles and Miles. Then I worked as a reporter. I reported on the London riots, and I witnessed all of the looting. And that's when I realized how many hipsters there are these days, because the lute is a seriously niche instrument to play. Now I run a company called Bruschetta. It's a bruschetta company. We make bruschetta. The company is named after my favourite 1960s female tennis player, 1964's Wimbledon champion Sandra Bruschetta. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Arthur, it sounds easy, making money from the bruschetta industry. Easy as kidnapping an apple. It would be a piece of biz, wouldn't it? You just pick it up, that's it. No, it's hard. It's a hard business. Hard, incredibly hard. Hard, like similes. But what drives me? Competition. From a rival, I hear, perhaps from another bread maker such as Focaccia. Named after 1985 Davis Cup runner-up Cecily Focaccia. No, I'm not worried about them. Their business is fucked. Their title doesn't make sense. They make tiger bread. No, it's competition for my brother, James. James works in the towel industry, making towels. He's literally the driest man I have ever met, which is really testament to his work. But we're also competitive about other things too, like, for example, who can get with the most for males. And unfortunately, he always wins this one. He's far more successful than I, that was weird. And sometimes my lack of success can get me down. I remember one time I was particularly upset, and my dad came to my room, and as he stood there in the doorway, he said, "Arthur, we've never really been close, have we? We don't really talk much. We've never had a heart-to-heart." I said, "No, Dad, I don't suppose we ever have been close." And then he just walked away. See, when it comes to girls, a lot of people like to say, treat them mean, keep them keen. Personally, I prefer say nothing, get nowhere. Works every time. I've said nothing to a lot of girls, and every time I've gotten absolutely nowhere. And it's a shame, because I've got all of these chat-up lines that I'll never get to use. I'll just never have the balls to use. Lines like, are you Jamaican because Jamaican me crazy? Lines like, are you Jamaican because you look Jamaican? Lines like, are you Jamaican because there was this one time when I was a kid and I was on my way to school and found this old piece of parchment on the ground, and I picked it up and dusted it off and had lots of Egyptian hieroglyphics written on it, and I read them out in quite a kind of rhythmical way, and by the end of school that day my left leg had become quite dead looking. I had to have it amputated. Can I buy you a drink? Look, lines like, are you Jamaican because please go out with me? Look, lines like, hey, I'm not an artist. And you know, in reality, what happens is I'll go to a bar with my brother, and you know, I'll get nowhere, and my brother within minutes will be swimming in ladies. Metaphorically, of course, he's still completely fucking dry. And I'll, anyway, I don't want to be here anymore. So, but have nice lives, and also, no, that's it. Okay.
Arthur Johnson!